Hi everyone, welcome to my Scrappy Journey. I have been playing around with my new Imagine. I have created this page right here using the Imagine. I used all white cardstock with the exception of my craft for my background, and then I used some chocolate paper to mat my photos. I want to show you something today. I've made two little flowers here using the Imagine More cartridge, and I just don't like the balance of them, so I'm actually going to move this one. And if you haven't used this to move things around on your your page, once you get them on there, better add some more adhesive. Then you should try it. It works great for lifting up that adhesive and moving stuff around. So I'm going to move this over to here. And I actually want a bigger flower down here in this corner. So let's go over to the Imagine. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. Alright, so here we are over at the Imagine. And I'm going to scroll over. You can either just scroll along this way, or there's a little tab like on a computer screen that I can move down. Either way. Oh, there it went. Alright, so here is, make it dizzy there. Here is the tag I'm going to be using. Alright, I'm actually going to go through a couple steps here. One is I want to edit this tag because I just want to use the flower down here in the bottom. So I'm going to change this to layers. And I know I want to change the color on this background. On my other flowers, I used this green down here, which was the same color that I used on my first two as well as my title. So I want to apply that, but I'm not quite done yet. I want to take these two out, so I'm going to click right here. I don't want the rest of that tag, and I want to backspace. Now I'm going to come back in here to edit. Now let me show you down here at the bottom. This says 7.0. That is like a relative size. That means if I were cutting out, this would be like the having your paper saver on the expression. It's going to cut this relative to the shape of the whole tag, which is 7 inches tall. But over here it tells me that the actual size of this flower is going to be 2.4. So this tells me exactly how big it's going to be, and that's a nice feature that you can't really get on the expression. It will just cut it based on the size of the tag, or put real die size on one or the other. But this kind of gives me a look at both. I'm going to go up a little bit because I really want my flower to be about 3 inches. So it's on 3 inches here, and it tells me that my relative size is 8.5. Now I want to remember that 8.5. Let me apply that, because I want these flowers to have a matching relative size of 8.5, so I'm going to bring those up as well. And my last one. It won't do this when you're in the initial editing screen. It will only do this once you have the individual pieces. So there we go. So I've got it on there. So those are going to be, the biggest part's going to be 3 inches tall. Here's how it's laid out on my mat. So let me get my paper and we'll get it cut. Now I am using scrap paper. You can see this is actually scrap paper where I cut out my small flowers. Now one thing I have noticed that you need to be careful of is once you pull paper off the mat, it curdles some. So when you're using paper that's already been used, you need to be real careful that it's down good on the edge. I got this horrible noise yesterday where my paper got caught where it was curling up. So I'm going to hold this in. I'm going to click next. And then I can just hit this button right here. I don't have to get my stylus and hit that little button. And I am not putting a lot of pressure here. And there it goes in. So I'm going to let this cut, and then we'll be right back. Alright, here are my 3 pieces. And I am actually going to use some dimensionals, some pop dots on the back here on all 3 layers. Well, 2 of the 3 layers. So this is going to go on top of the shadow. And then I'll put dots on the back of here to go on top of that layer. Now I could stop. I could have deleted the third layer because that is flower and shadow all in itself. But instead I want to have a little bit more dimension. I know that was one of the things that some people worried about with the Imagine, is that you would lose some of your dimension. Let me see here. I'm going to layer this right on top. How if I laid it on straight? Alright, there we go. I'm going to add some adhesive. I wanted to go right there. Just thought I needed a bigger element over here. So there you go. There is my page. I like that new option of being able to see that even though I have my size set on 8.5, that I'm going to get a 3-inch flower. And I didn't realize that feature yesterday when I was making these flowers. Excuse me. I had my dial set on 5, and I didn't realize how small my flowers are going to be. It wasn't until later that I realized that I could go back in to the individual pieces and see their actual height. So there you go, scrapbook page made with a brand new Imagine. I'm loving it so far. Until next time, enjoy the journey.